Because we have no internet, I don't know what the internet's saying today. So we're going to move on to Joel Bitonio, and he is next in our 32 for 32. Oh, I lied. Anthony has his iPad. We have the result to your question, Bull.
Oh, good.
A very even vote. Very even. 406 results. 53%, Watson plays well in a loss. 47%, Watson stinks.
As usual, chat gets it wrong. They almost
Chat's
always
100%
do.
right here.
I don't think they got it wrong this time.
No,
Dang.
you guys are crazy.
You got to
take
do Joel
the
Bitonio
win.
before we bring in Darren. We could revisit that after.
I'm going to ask Darren that question, see what he thinks.
We will ask Darren. Joel Bitonio, he's number 10 in our 32 for 32, the highest rated offensive lineman in the list. Bull,
Yes.
I know you're looking up your list right now. Where did you have Bitonio, and do you think 10 is too low for a guy who admittedly is not the 10th best player on this team, but I think he was at number 10 for our list because of positional value of any guard.
Even though his positional value is not that big, and now, of course, I can't remember exactly where my file is that I have this, so, I got it. But I had Bitonio higher than I would have most guards. I actually have Joel Bitonio as the fourth most important player on the Browns.
All right, explain that, because I would argue he should be a little bit lower than this.
Okay.
Wait, do you lower than 10
Yeah.
or lower than 4?
Lower than 10.
Interesting.
He's a tricky one because the position on its own is not valuable compared to a lot of the positions. I just think the offensive line is so key to the Browns having a great season. They've got the best running back in football. They've got a potential top 10, maybe even top 5 quarterback. They've got talent at the skill all over the skill positions. They may not have an elite wide receiver, but they got enough talent at wide receiver and tight end that they're in good shape. The offensive line has been something that we've just counted on as being good for the Browns. And I think you said this. It's like, the tackles are kind of shaky on this team.
Yeah.
And because the tackles are shaky, Joel Bitonio is the rock of this offense, along with Nick Chubb. Like, those are the two pillars of this offense. And they both play positions that are not traditionally valuable to teams. But Bitonio's steadiness and excellence at that left guard position, when there's been issues all around him, to me is so important to keeping that line at least a good level. Maybe they won't be elite because Jedrick Wills is not very good and Jack Conklin is always hurt and Teller's been hurt a lot. But I think Bitonio makes it just a little easier for the guys around him. You know, we've talked a lot about Bill Callahan helping making Ethan Pocic a great center. I think part of the reason Ethan Pocic had such a great year is because he's got Joel Bitonio playing left guard. And when you have a guy that's that good playing next to you, it makes your job easier. It's that simple. And I think he makes everything a little easier for the guys around him. Now, there's only so much he can do for Jedrick Wills, because Jedrick Wills is what he is. He's just a guy. But I think if you lost him on that offensive line, I think that offensive line could go from good to bad quick without Joel Bitonio. I think a couple of years ago, as Wyatt Teller seemed to be emerging, and you drafted Jedrick Wills, I think we all kind of thought, okay, you got to move on from Bitonio. And now I'm like, you cannot move on from Bitonio. He is the guy. So even though I would almost never have a left guard 4, and in reality, I'm probably a little high. I'm probably a little high in the end with him on 4. I still put him at number 4 because I think it's a unique. And I had Nick Chubb very high too, probably higher than his position warrants. But I think on this team, he's very important.
Man, that was a great explanation. I
don't know if anybody's buying it, but there it is.
Listen, playing up front on the line, the guard position is undervalued, but if you got pressure coming up the middle, you're in trouble. Because that's a 0 to 100 real quick straight line to the quarterback. I also think that the Cleveland Browns, being a power team, I really, really believe this. Like, if the Cleveland Browns want to get to where they want to go to, they got the pieces, but the game plan and how you go about doing it is a little bit different. I think the Cleveland Browns are one team, and, the Titans are a team that likes to run the ball too, but they don't have the pieces that they have. The Browns have the complete set. They have the running, they got the guards, they got the maulers, they got the running back who is tough to tackle, and he's a battering ram. They got the offensive line coach. If the Cleveland Browns have a passing attack that is new age, they could get the ball downfield, they got the prerequisites to actually punish you. And a lot of teams don't have that. Like, it's almost a throwback. It's like fighting against a left-hand boxer as a heavyweight. You're like, when the last time you seen a heavyweight boxer left-hander? Like, you got to get ready for it. It's just different. And I think that's the one key that the Browns do have is, the three people in the middle, led by Bitonio, the center, Pochich and with Teller, that they have the ability to really physically beat you, especially if they get you down, and they could keep the chains moving. So I agree with what you said. To me, Bitonio is a borderline Hall of Fame guy, and I think if the Browns can do anything in the playoffs to get further in the playoffs, he's going to get more notoriety. It's a shame he didn't get it earlier in his career, kind of like Joe Thomas, but I agree. He's very important. He's the most important person on the line, even though he's a guard.
Did I sway you at all?
No, 4 is insane. 4 is totally insane. 10 probably is close. I think I'd have him a few notches lower. It's a guard. I guess let me start here. I love Joel. I think he's a pillar in the locker room. He goes about his business the right way. He's a professional. He's not a guy you have to worry about what's he doing when he's out of the facility. He keeps his mouth shut. He keeps his head down, and he does his job. Like, those are the types of guys you need on the offensive line. I do believe he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He may have a little bit of an uphill battle because of the position he plays, which is why I'd have him a little bit lower on the list. It's hard for guards. They're more anonymous than probably any other position. And he's been terrific throughout his career, but he's 31. He's almost going to be 32 years old. And as we talk about the cliff for running backs, I just wonder where the cliff is for guards. And if he goes down, we've talked about it on the show multiple times, I think there's enough depth on this line. Are they going to be worse without him? Yes, of course they are. But I do think that they have enough talent on this offensive line that they would be okay. I can't put a guard at 4. In Deshaun,
theory,
Nick, Myles, Amari, right there. I put those 4 ahead of them.
And you have coaches available to you,
and
too.
Coaches.
Deshaun, Myles, and Cooper and who?
Chubb.
I have Cooper 3 and I have Chubb 5.
I think that's crazy. If you're putting a left guard over Nick Chubb on the most important players this year, I think that's nuts. But pretends probably where he should be, maybe 12, 13. They're splitting hairs at that point. I hope he can finish his career here. We've talked about it before. I don't know how long they can keep paying these guys what they're paying them, although they keep finding ways to find more cap space. But I'm telling you, show me another team in the NFL that's paying its guards $15 million and its quarterback $50 million. It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. And that's why I think it may come down to a point where they have to choose between Wyatt Teller and Joel Bitonio at that guard spot. And obviously you would say Bitonio 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Wyatt's a lot younger. We'll see if he stays healthy this year.
Yeah, but Bitonio's been,
he's been a rock.
Absolutely.
He's been a rock.
Yeah.
But he turns 32 in October. How much longer does he have left?
Hey, we about to keep doing this payday cash advance. That's what we're going to run with.
That 28% interest?
Hey, you got it. As soon as you get that next check, that check is going right to the cash advance place. You got to wait 3 days.
and I don't want to make it sound like I'm dogging Joel because, again, I think he's great. He's one of the best in the game at what he does at his position. And he's been such a steady force amid all the chaos, amid all the dysfunction and all the toxicity. He's been one of those few guys that you can count on that he's always going to do his job. He's always going to be in the right place. There's value in that. That's why I would have him as high for a guard.
Yeah.
Who would ever put a guard in the top 10, 15? Right. It's because of how good he is, but there's a limit to how high I'll go.
By the way, he hasn't missed a game in 6 years.
It's incredible.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's better than you even think he is.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to someone who gets talked about at a position with no notoriety.
Right.
Like Joel Bitonio. For the record, the 3 votes behind the glass who put this together, we had him at 8, 11, and 12. So we were right in that range.
Who had 8?
Anthony actually had 8. I had 11. Earl had 12.
Bitonio played every game his rookie year. Then in 2015, he missed 6 games. 2016, he missed 11 games. I can't remember the injury that he had. And he hasn't missed a game since 2017. He's been a Pro Bowler every year since 18 and All-Pro the last 2 years.
I hope he makes it to Canton.
He's even better than you think he is.
I hope he makes it to Canton. I really do. I hope he gets a bus next to Joe because he's earned it. He deserves it.
Has he scored a touchdown in his career? Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, that's a crazy question, so I would say yes.
No, he has not.
No. Well,
I was messing with you.